Hey ladies, it's Saturday night, and you know what that means. You want to get away. Single Moms Lifestyle presents the Saturday Night Getaway.
Oh, hello. Welcome.
Hello.
Hello, everybody.
Hello. Hey, gang.
Hey, y'all. Welcome, everyone, and thank you guys for tuning in. If it is your first time tuning in, you are now listening to and watching Single Moms to Wives Saturday Night Getaway, and it is a man's world. I love these moments. I love when it's a man's world. Because me and Simply Lorraine get to sit back. But anyhow, I am your host, Queen G, sitting here with my beautiful co-host, Simply Lorraine, my handsome star of the show tonight, Mr. Jihad Yusuf. And we have a handsome guest sitting right next to him, Mr. Will Jackson.
Hey, everybody. Good evening. It's late night, so good. Hello. Late night.
Oh my gosh, guys, we are here every Saturday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And so thank you so much if you've continued to follow us. We have been doing this since 2015. So we still here kicking it. We would love for you guys to tag, like, and share, spread the word. We know we have a late show. And if you're anything like me, it is past bedtime. But this is for grown folks. So make sure you guys share the show. We would appreciate it. And it is November, actually, literally almost the end of November. I swear it was just the beginning of November last week. But it's the end of November. But happy birthday to everybody in November, especially my baby girl, big girl, Adriana.
Yes, happy birthday.
Woo, woo. They still kicking it to be 24 again, okay? They've been kicking it since Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I'm like, Lord, ain't y'all tired yet? But I remember those days. And happy birthday to everybody in the month of December. Y'all got November, Jesus. Do y'all have any birthdays in November?
Yes, my oldest nephew Caleb's birthday is this month.
Caleb, happy birthday.
Yeah. And my cousin Spencer's birthday is this month as well.
Oh, Spencer? Mm-hmm. Happy birthday, Spencer. Jihad, what you got?
My granddaughter Natty, her birthday was on the 16th. Pee-wee's birthday is on Monday. My second oldest daughter, Chelsea, birthday was on the 4th. Her mother's birthday was on the 3rd, and my birthday was on the 6th.
Oh, happy birthday. Yes, it was November 6th.
Happy birthday. Thank you.
It sure. Woo.
And Tehran's birthday is November 22nd.
Oh, y'all are loaded for November.
A lot of November, baby. Oh, Red's birthday is November 21st.
Oh, you better stop. You know somebody, you're going to forget somebody.
Family full of Leos and Scorpios.
Yeah, you took the words out of my mouth. Good God. Turn up, November. It is a lot of November birthdays. Will, you all right, baby?
He froze up a little bit.
It's all right. Listen, it happens. He might need to give me just a second. So tell me how y'all week have been. Talk to me.
My week has been good.
My week has been long, full of work.
It's been a busy week, a good week. I can't complain at all. Not for real. Just getting used to a new schedule.
You got some new glasses there? There's some new glasses, ain't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, they fly. I like them.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. We done lost Queen G and Will.
Uh-oh. Here they come. They coming back.
Well, until she checks back in, thank you everybody for taking me in.
It's all right. Listen, that's how we know the show gonna be dope, because every time we have technical difficulties, it's all right.
Yeah.
It's all right. In my Corey Poe voice.
Mm-hmm.
Will, you with us? I just want to know, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Uh, it's all right. We're gonna keep it going. So my week, honey, I told y'all I'm sleepy. I'm not sleepy, I'm sleepy. I have been back on, it's the holiday season, so I'm back on my 7 7 7 7.
Okay.
7 days, Team No, but it's all good. I'm getting ready. We gearing up for the holidays, of course, Black Friday, which because I'm a bucker, I'm doing my sales till I feel like stopping. So it's more than a day. Y'all got to come out and shop Royal Air. We are located in the Calhoun Premium Outlet Mall. Address is 455 Bellwood Road, and we are Suite 31 in between Route 21 and Direct Tools. And then we also will be doing a Cyber Monday. And of course, again, our sales end when we say so. That's what happened when you're running everything. So we are doing like 60% off in store and Cyber Monday. So yeah, make sure you check us out. And I've got to make sure I remind everybody, if you come by the store, I will throw in an extra 10% on top of your 60% for donating any winter clothes for us to take to the homeless in Atlanta. Socks, scarves, hats, hand warmers, gloves, anything, blankets to keep them warm. They absolutely love to see us pull up, and I love to pull up on them. Thank you so much to my boo, Michelle, for your contribution. We appreciate it. And yeah, so make sure y'all check us out. And if you can stop by, and I will also be doing a December toy drive, but I'll let you guys know that a little later too. And the website is www.imroyalair.com. And listen, if you guys would like for us to give anyone a shout out for their birthday, anniversary, graduation, or what have you, or if you have any topics for the show, like I said, I love the DMs, but you can also email us at singlemomslifestyleradio@gmail.com. Because sometimes I'm so busy in my lane, I'll get on social media and get right off, and it may take me a while to check my inbox, especially the inbox. But again, the email is singlemomslifestyleradio@gmail.com. Tonight, it is a man's world, and it is part 2 of Thankful November. And last weekend we talked to the wives. This weekend we are talking to the husbands. We have 2 more that may be pulling in on us, but there was some technical difficulties and people have to pay their bills and jobs. So we just gonna do what it do. Y'all know we're very transparent. We're in the comfort of our space, and we just gonna roll with the flow no matter what. And yeah, so we're gonna kick the show off with Mr. Will. This is, if you saw last week's show, this is Miss Dalisha Jackson's husband, the head honcho. And he kept saying, "Oh, it's my turn next week."
I couldn't just let her get all the TV time like that. That don't happen.
He said, "It's my turn." I could see him in the back, like, mm-hmm. Oh, I'm gonna say this next. Okay, so it's your turn. It's this week. It's here. And she said, "Hey, King." She been over here too, literally wifing you up. She like, "Let me help him." She like, "Dang, honey, you just got on the show. Your thing messing up. Mine's didn't mess up. You know that's how we do."
You do me like that on the lot? That's wild. That's wild.
No, she didn't. She didn't.
That's wild.
That's me. I was ad-libbing. She in there like, now, come on.
Man.
No, she did, but she did say I'm a help. But yeah, so it's so good to have you on the show.
Thank you for having me. I'm grateful to be here, honestly.
Yeah. We want to be able to bless the listeners, the men, Because we're always, we're always talking about relationships, and the value of. We're always, like Jihad will tell you, talking about and having conversations about solving problems, especially in the Black community with relationships, whether it be, with families or dating with a purpose. And so this is actually the second show we've had an opportunity to literally talk to and just chop it up with those that are married and just kind of pick your brains on how that is. So, without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and let Jihad do what he do, and me and Simple and Ray gonna sit back with Delisha and everybody else. I'll chime in every now and then. Y'all good?
Yeah, we good.
Right.
We good.
All right.
We good. Well, basically, you know what I'm saying, the show is dedicated to the husbands. It's a man's world. So, a lot of things that I'm gonna be questioning about, you know what I'm saying, will be pretty much asking for advice and wisdom for those who may be listening. Now, I myself am single, so you know what I'm saying, I'll keep everything in proper context. I know what boundaries not to cross. You know what I'm saying. One thing I can't stand is when single people talk like they married. You know what I'm saying, and they never took that choice. I really do respect people who make the decision to get married. I'm not against marriage, but you know what I'm saying, I haven't crossed that path yet. But the reason why I respect married people is because that's the most selfless decision that you can make in life. When you decide to walk this path with somebody, you deal with their flaws. You're gonna have to deal with ups and downs. You might have to deal with their sicknesses and illnesses, career changes, and how they evolve. So, to make that decision, it's a terrifying decision because sometimes, the biggest thing that you're worried about is making the wrong decision with the wrong person. So I honor married people. You know what I'm saying? To me, y'all elite, as far as I'm concerned. So, with that being said, a lot of the questions that I'm gonna gear is basically, what I'm saying, just dropping your wisdom from your experience, giving people advice who have not made that decision yet, or those who are engaged that's moving towards that. So at the end of the day, Will, you the king. You know what I'm saying? You the head honcho. So lead us, man. You know what I'm saying? The questions, that I ask, you know what I'm saying, will be some will be very transparent. You know
Run
what I'm
it.
saying? And
Let's do it.
like she said, you know what I'm saying? We know this is a podcast. Some things you can keep disclosed to yourself, but you know what I'm saying? By all means, I do know that this show is unfiltered. So yeah. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, my first question would be to you, and I can ask you this as well too, Queen G. How did you know when you met your wife that she was your wife? How long did it take before you realized that she was the one worthy of your name?
It didn't, honestly, bro. It didn't take no time. I was I was watching her. That sounds so creepy. But I saw her on one of our mutual friends' Snapchat, man, and I was like, "Yeah, who's your friend? That's the one." And then we met, and it was, it was love, from the beginning. And then, and it, man, it's really, it was so simple. You know what I'm saying? Like love is not really complicated. It's not. Relationships are, I mean, they have trials and situations and differences that you got to overcome, but it's not difficult. It was just something that I did, man. It was the time. I'm still young. I'm 29, and my wife is only 24.
Awesome.
So you know what I'm saying? Like we were still young, and it was just a decision you make, man. It's just a decision that you make. It's like whether you're gonna eat steak or ribs at night. You know what you want. You want what you want, and that's what I did. I made the decision to be married, and that's what I've been doing. It's been working. Thus far, it's gonna work. It's gonna work. Period.
I appreciate that. Let me ask you this: in a world that's dominated by cyber and meta factors, because that's really what the world is going to.
Yeah.
In a world that seems like it makes it seem like marriage is outdated, it's lame. Staying single is the thing to be. Enjoy your life, be free. How do you all counter that as a married couple to make it look, to make the world know that, yo, this is work, this is worthy, this is what it's all about?
In marriage, you do not lose your individuality. You do not. You are the same or well, you evolve rather, but you are who you are. You got to be comfortable in yourself. People actually have to like you before you get married in order for them to admire you. And so, my wife and I both have a aura or a glow or a light that we have about ourselves within ourselves. Before we was even together, we had that. She's super cool. She's pretty, talented. She's smart. I was who I am. I'm a musician. I'm 6'2", 250. I'm saying? I'm a big dude. You can't help but see me. So, there's a light. There's a light that we already possess. And then when those two lights come together, bro, we shining. You know what I'm saying? Like either you with us or you hating on us.
Right.
Come on, man.
I have a thing I always say that I think that especially for single people, I think people always want to define what's a real man and what's a real woman. And I think people need to get away from that. And the reason why I say that is because people have different requirements. What I may require in a woman may not be what you require in a woman. What may be good for me may not be good enough for you. So in making that statement, my question to you is, did your wife meet all your requirements? And for the ones that she didn't meet, how did you go about supplementing that in your marriage?
Absolutely, she did meet all of my desires. In the beginning, there were things that she did not know about me. And so she had to learn me. So there was one conversation that we had that I told her, I said, you're not dating this person no more. You're not dating your family no more. You're not, don't base me upon, your relationship with your father or with your brothers or with whomever, other men that you have, your friend. Don't do that. You dated me now. So you have to love me how I need to be loved. And so anybody that really loves you will do that.
That's good. That's good. That's good.
Period. Like they're going to do that as soon as possible. If that's, that has to be a conversation that needs to be held. You can tell people's intentions and their motives, right away, essentially.
That's good. That's good.
And my motives were, let's get to it. Like, we ain't saying we got to have a family right now, but hey, that's what happened. We got 3 kids, but and we only been married 2 years. But it's just you make a decision.
Yeah,
it's I think a lot. When I turn my hat backwards, that means we going deep. So
come on with
when you make a decision, man, that's what's wrong with it with a lot of people. You were talking about social media and just what's portrayed. People don't know how to make decisions for themselves. They always need somebody to agree with them. Like they always need somebody to pat them on the back. Like, no, just do what it. Man, I'm trying not to go there, but
it's unfiltered. So say what you got to say.
If it's a part of God's plan, man, like you don't really have a say. Just do what's in the plan, and the rest will follow. A lot of times we trying to figure out, well, how I'm gonna do this. I got baggage back here. I got daddy issues. I'm still a hoe. I like sex. Whatever your thing may be. I'm broke. That's the thing right now. Like you ain't got a lot of money, then you single. You know what I'm saying? Or you should remain single. But that's not the case, man. You got to find somebody, specifically a man. Find a woman, but find you somebody that's willing to really eliminate those boundaries for and those needs for a compliment all the time from people outside of y'all relationship. You don't need no validation from them. Like, nah, man, whatever.
Do you think that plays a big part on why a lot of younger people are not, really getting married or taking even just the sacredness of being monogamous, you know what I mean, in 2021.
Yeah.
Do you think that the media and everything that's being portrayed has a big part on just the facade that people want to keep up? And I'm asking you that, and I'm also asking you, Jihad, the same thing. What is it why we are not seeing commitment like we grew up seeing? As men,
Well,
what do you think you see?
I'll answer, because what the last thing you just said was what you grew up seeing. So I know I've known you for a minute.
Ooh, yeah.
Maybe like 10 years or so, maybe less.
Yeah.
I don't know. But you have kids my age.
Yes.
And so what you saw was totally different from what we seen.
Right.
And so we lacked, and I'm not saying about your household, but in overall, we lacked a vision or a leader that we could see.
Yeah. I get that.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. That's true.
And so we didn't really, we had to figure it out.
Yeah.
If this is something that I like. That's why we have a lot of experiments happening now.
Ooh.
Am I this or am I that?
Oh,
like this?
man.
Do I like that? When you grew up, my mom grew up, it was, you're going to church, you're doing this, you're going to school, get a good education, and period.
That's good. That's good. That's good.
Now we got, you can go to trade school, you could do this, you could do that, and that's nothing wrong with that, but that's just the reality. We didn't have a leader to visually see in the home.
That's good. Jihad?
Why are we not seeing commitment these days amongst people is the question.
Yes.
Well, I always go to my VIPs, values, interests, and principles. You're looking at a generation of people who didn't see marriage with their own parents, number one. Number two, you living in a world where people, I always say, if you can overcome the power of wanting to be acknowledged, you become powerful. People want to be acknowledged. They want the world to know that they exist, which is why social media dominates their life more than anything else. Again, when I said earlier at the beginning of the show, I honor married people. I tend to follow married people. I tend to follow people on social media that are talking about constructive things, farming, medicinal, health, diet. But the reason why I say that, I like to see that people make it work in a society that's so against it. You know what I'm saying? In a society where people they can classify themselves as any gender now. A society where, I read this in a book years ago, where the society will become an individualistic society, and we see it right in front of us. But at the end of the day, and then when it comes to the Black family, and I say this time and time again, that's a revolutionary act. When I was with my daughter's mother, and I don't, maybe Will, you can agree with this and whatnot, but when we're out in public and they see us and the kids together, we get looks, we get stares. Like that's a dinosaur type of thing to see a Black man and a woman with their kids together. But at parents and teachers, conference and meetings, and the daddy's there and the mom is there, things of that nature. So I just think we just live in a world of individualism, and people think that they will lose that by committing to someone who is worthy to walk with you. You understand?
Ooh, that's good.
Second part of that answer is people don't really understand themselves to know which person to mate with.
Exactly.
A lot of people will mate with an individual for status. They will mate with them for the way that they look. They will mate with them because they're popular or whatever the case may be. But if you notice, the couples that last the longest are eyeball couples. Like, how they end up together, but been together 45, 50 some years. You understand what I'm saying? And opposites do attract. So at the end of the day, I think, because the reason why I say that, if I must be completely transparent, it's been a hard decision. It's been a hard trigger for me to pull. You understand what I'm saying? Just being honest about it. You know what I'm saying? It's been a hard trigger for me to pull, because not that I didn't know myself or anything like that, but the more I started to understand myself, the more, I started also realize that the pickings are slim. But here's the thing about slim pickings. People that you meet right now in a mediocre state won't be like that 10 years from the time that you meet them. So I do believe that everybody has this time and this season to when things come together. Because what I understand now at 49, I didn't understand it at 29.
Yeah.
And like Will said, I was, one thing I was proud of myself was a father, but at the same time, I was in the streets. I love the women and things like that. My daughter's mom to this day blamed me because I really didn't think she wanted to get married when she told me don't have no more kids. And now she had more kids and got married. And like, she always, every now and then she'd be like, Negro, this should have been you. But just being young, I didn't understand it. And I just thought that once I made that commitment, I would lose myself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I would lose my freedom. I can't go to the gym every night. I can't hang with the fellas. I can't go shopping for myself now because now I have a family. But as you get older, and my parents been married 50 years, and my two younger siblings been married. So they always be like, well, what the hell wrong with you? Selfishness, man. And that's I just did it. I ain't gonna sit up here and tell you that I ain't met women who I could not have married. You understand what I'm saying? So selfishness, man. So it's just one of them things. So when I talk about society, I'm gonna throw myself in that population too. I'm guilty.
That's good. That's good. That's good that you're able to do that. Will, Jihad, you said something that I wanted to ask Will, and that is, what made her the one? You said you just knew, and you said she was the one, but what makes her the one?
For me or overall?
For you, the one, like the end. Because that takes a lot to say. That's it.
Man, you see somebody. I'm trying to go back. We've been through a whole lot in 2 years. Like, it's crazy. Y'all, man, y'all couldn't even imagine. We'd have been through stuff that like my man said, like people that's been together 50, 30 years. You know what I'm saying? That's, being in the hospital for weeks, you know what I'm saying? Broke, all type, just everything. But I'm trying to go back to 2 years, and what I think that made her the one for me was, I know she said that she was my safe place or is my safe place, but I'll also say that she was always herself, and I actually liked her.
That's good. That's good.
You see how it's so simple?
Yes, that's good. That's good.
I liked her.
That's good. That's good.
And a lot of times we try to, like my man said, 10 years down the line, that's a whole different person. Scientifically, every 5 to 7 years, we evolve as people.
Mm-hmm.
And so I saw myself, even now, 2 years, 4 years, 10 years, 15 years down the line. Now, her being amazingly beautiful helped a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It helped a lot. Mm-hmm. And I'm from Atlanta. And,
he said, hey.
Hey,
Will, see this shirt? Atlanta, Georgia changed my life.
I don't even need to say, so she had everything that I knew that I needed. Even what I saw from social media, I saw what Atlanta had to offer. I'll say that. We'll keep it PG-13 for now. What Atlanta had to offer, she had that for me. And that was something that I needed in order to be completely satisfied and happy. I needed all of those boxes to be for me. But I really liked her. She was funny. She was cool. Like, she had charisma. We got along together. Our lights were able to shine. We didn't try to outshine each other. Like, man, we've worked together on numerous things.
Wow.
And people are like, man, this is great. And I'm like, yeah, I know. Just follow the plan, though. Like, just go with the plan.
I think, let me say something Will said when you said y'all been through a lot, and that's being transparent, because a lot of people talk about a marriage and they're happy, and they won't tell you the ugly side of it too.
Oh yeah.
I think in any type of commitment, marriage, or whether a couple is together, you don't exist until you have problems. I think a lot of times, people perceive commitment in marriage as just, okay, well, we're gonna live happily ever after, and that ain't the truth. Mm-hmm. Not that I've ever witnessed in my lifetime. So I think that When you really know that you rocking with a ride is when y'all can come out of something that's real. That's when I say the marriage or a commitment exists, is when you go through something. That's when you're going to know what exists and what don't exist.
Here you go. You said something right there.
I think you can be happy is a state of mind, bro.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you know, we in a 2-bedroom mansion right now, but still.
Period.
Mm-hmm.
It's a state of mind. So it's, you know, and that's a whole nother thing. But, you know, you just gotta have the right mindset. You know, like I said, keep your individuality. If you're taking notes out there, keep your individuality.
Yeah.
Actually like the person.
Yeah.
And be yourself. And don't try to outshine each other, man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so glad you said that. Like that statement says so much when you say actually like I liked her, like or actually like each other. There's so many times that we be in relationships for so many other reasons, and you really don't even like the person. Like, whoa, like how do you feel? I don't like you.
Yeah. And that's happy, bad, sad. Like you see that person in a lot of situations. Like Jahan said, you see that person in a lot of situations. And if I don't like you when you're mad, how are we gonna get back to happy? Like
Yeah.
If you know, like if you don't have a control over your emotions, like how are we gonna get past, you know, have a real conversation? How are we gonna get past this stuff? Because conversations are gonna come up, things are gonna come up, and you know, things that are buried are going to come up. You have to, as an individual, you have to be able to project that on somebody that you love. And you also have to be real with yourself. Like, okay, this is an issue of mine. I didn't know I had daddy issues until I actually said something. And now it's affecting me. Not me per se, but you know, I'm just using. Right. And I'll be honest, I had mom issues that I didn't really know about until it actually came to us having a genuine conversation.
Wow.
I don't even know what we was talking about.
No.
That was relevant. That's good. Like, I think what I just heard in that was just really being able to have those type of finding that person that you can have those type of conversations with that actually things that you don't even know are and you can come out.
And I remember having a moment like that, several, of course, with my husband, with Corey. And I remember I just kept feeling, we were dating at the time. And there was this one issue that it was like God just placed it on my spirit. I knew it was something there. But the ironic thing is that I had to use my issue and go first. Yeah. And I think that's another cliche, or I'll say it's one of those things where when we grow up and we're used to or accustomed to certain things, tradition and everything being a certain way, we want to fall in that line. And sometimes, honey, we just have to get outside of that line, their lines, and start creating our own. And so I had to go first.
Wow.
I had to go first. We think that as men, you all have to go first. You all have to, there are so many things that, yes, you were first. You know what I mean? You should get in front of. You should take the lead on. But when it comes to things like emotional and spiritual and balance and communication, I went first. And it was like the moment I went first, I could just hear him over the phone. It was just like a sigh, like, oh, I can talk about this. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I think we to my recollect, I feel like we started to just really connect and bond over the fact that, we were able to have those conversations. We were able to actually, like what I call deep dive, get off the surface, stop surfing and deep dive And we were in our 30s. I believe we were in our 30s when we started dating. So I remember one day I was just like, listen, you know what I wish? I said, I wish we could just get past the newness. He's like, yo, me too. Because that's what we need in order to know. Like, I don't want to waste your time. Listen, don't waste my time.
Yeah.
What do we have beneath the surface? And so that's what this is about. And that's what I hear you saying. And it's crazy because we've talked about dating with a purpose, and Jihad and I chop it up all the time. And it's like, that's the one thing that if I had to sum up everything that you say about dating, he ain't with the fugazi. It's like, show me good, bad, ugly, you know what I mean? And don't take my choice away. You don't know what I can deal with.
Yeah, that's the key.
Throw it out there. Right.
Yeah.
And let me show you how I deal with it. And vice versa. And I think that's what makes a great team. You know what I'm saying? Would you say, Jihad?
Oh, spot on. Yeah, spot on. I mean, I call it the fairy tale stage. You know what I'm saying? Let's get past it. You know, like I know, like, and you know, if I was talking to a young lady, the first thing I'm gonna tell her is everything that's messed up about me. Like, listen, I'm just gonna put this out here. Sometimes I could be a little stubborn. Sometimes I could be selfish. Sometimes I don't want to go with you. Hang out. Sometimes I don't want to go to the show with you. I'd rather be in the gym hooping, or you know what I'm saying, or you know, I might pass gas if I eat a certain type of food and I'm not getting up from the couch. You know, little stuff like that. I'm just letting you know, like, let's just. In other words, lady, take your wig off. Let me see what you really got. You know what I mean? I just ain't with all that. So, you know, I think when you can get past that stage, to me, it shows a level of vulnerability, transparency. And if you can get that in the individual, I always say if a person can be honest about their past, they'll be honest about anything in the future.
Yeah.
You can have an uncomfortable conversation with an individual because you have no reason to lie. Because, you know what I'm saying, whatever happened before me is really insignificant. Now, I know with most men, some men will judge a woman if she opens up and, you know, just bears it all. But, you know, a lot of men really just want the truth. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like, you know, with ladies, you know what I'm saying, if y'all out there listening, just be honest out the gate. If a man asks you a question, you know, most men ain't there to judge you, but just be straight up. That's how you gain a man's trust.
Right. Absolutely agree. And Will, do you think that that's another thing that drew you to your wife, that she was transparent? Listen, when I tell you, she and I already have a vibe. We got this virtual vibe going on. I'm like, yes. So the light, when you said it,
yeah,
yes. I was just like, it's just the swag is there, the uniqueness is there. I would have a hard time believing, but I want you to answer. Is she very transparent in her truth? Does she live in her truth?
What happens is, so both of us are prophetic.
Hey.
So I'm a prophet, and you know, we're both prophetic. So what happens is, and what we've learned, I like learning with your spouse or your companion or whatever, because once you guys learn things at the same time, it's like both of y'all's wheels start going. Like, hold on, where do I need to change? Where do and you start doing the inner work first.
Yeah.
Anything is said, because we do care about each other, so we're not going to want to offend each other. But we also don't want each other to be walking around in falsehood.
Yeah.
So what happens is, I may bring something to the forefront, and she's like, wow, I understand. Now let me go do some inner work, think about it, and agree or disagree. And that's where even more conversation happens. Like, you don't always agree. True. But there should always be an understanding and a takeaway from this.
I like that. I like that.
My wife asks me all the time, every single time. There's two questions that she asks me every day. After a conversation that we have, she asks me, what are your takeaways? And the second question that she asks me at random times of the day, it scares the bejeebers out of me. She says, why do you love me?
Oh, come on.
Every single day. And it
I'm
just
feeling that.
it just challenges you. It just challenges you. Like to so many levels, spiritually, naturally, it just challenges you. What if God asks you, why you love me today?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, that is so dope. And I love that you all are literally asking each other's questions. You're finding you're real recognizing problems.
Yeah.
Listen, Jihad made us problem solvers. Do you hear me? That's what we're here for. We are here to solve problems. And that is my everyday go-to.
Yeah.
That's my mindset. You know what I mean? It's just to do that. But to be able to, at you all's age in your season, let me say that, to be there, good God. Let me just tell you now in your face, that is dope.
Yes.
Yes, that's very dope.
There is a problem. We need to solve it, and I'm gonna check in with you every day to make sure that we good. And if it's a problem that we ain't solved, we gonna solve it. And then after we solve it, we good. I am here for it.
What did you get from this? What you got?
Yeah.
What you take away? Even if you don't agree with my thought process, you totally don't rock with me right then at that moment. You might be a little frustrated or whatever. We're still individuals. I don't know why we're staying on that. Like that must be really what people need to hear. Keep your individuality because that's why they were drawn to you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that is important. I think that is important. I think a lot there is a misperception that a lot of, especially younger people, and I'm not even going to say too young, a lot of people that, like you said, was not shown, do not know. A lot of us can't say our parents been married for 50 years. Which, how long your parents been married, John?
50.
50 years.
50 years. And just a
Longer
fussing
than
fight
I've been
every day.
alive.
Right.
Right. All of us, we can't say that. And so it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, that's the goal, but a lot of people don't know that's the goal, and they feel like in order to do that, you have to lose yourself. I always felt like, and I'm not gonna lie, being submissive was a cuss word. Okay, let me just be honest. It's after hours, y'all. Who? You come to say what? I started speaking all kind of different, made up. Come against like what? Wait. So,
Yeah.
But now, like Jihad said, at in our season, and what my understanding of that was in my 20s and even 30s. In my 40s, I have a whole different understanding of that. And what I do understand is I don't have to lose myself and my individuality. That's something my husband and I remind ourselves of. Take me as I am. Let me be me. I'm good. You good? I'm good. We good? Okay. Let me be me. And I think that if the for those that are watching that are in that single world, please catch that.
Yeah.
Catch that, because I like how you said that. That is the one thing that attracted you to each other, your individuality. And you don't have to lose that. And that is not what makes you one. That's the thing. That's not what makes you one. And I think a lot of people also need to understand that as long as you're growing and you're going to continue to learn yourself, because your 20-year-old is not your 30-year-old you, and it's not going to be your 40-year-old or your 50-year-old you. Jihad just said that earlier. And so it's the same thing with your spouse. You do not say I do and instantly become one. That's a lie. Whoever told it. you don't become one instantly. You grow. You understand what I'm saying? You grow into that. And what, we're 6 years in, you grow into it. It's not something that just happens overnight, and you have to be open-minded. I love that. I really want to
Something.
know.
Mhm.
Go ahead.
No, something else I'm hearing in our conversation is maturity. It really doesn't matter what age you are. You have to be mature enough to
Yeah.
handle a
Yeah.
relationship and go in
Yeah.
whatever type of relationship it is,
Mhm.
understanding
Mhm.
that, hey, it's not just about me.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
gonna
Yeah.
take,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's gonna take some compromise. They're not supposed to, I guess, necessarily would say they're not supposed to become who I want them to be, and I'm not supposed to become who they want me to be.
I like that. I like that. I like that. I like that. Yeah. I really like that. You're right. And it's
And
maturity.
with growth, you know what I'm saying? You have a partner at this point in time. So over time, you're going to grow. It'll be more growth and more maturity.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
help you
Yeah.
become
Yeah.
who you're supposed to be.
Yeah. 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 I like that. And I think that uh that's probably why a lot of people are my husband is woke. Hey, hey, right? Listen, this man just got off this morning. I thought he was knocked out. Um, I would like to ask a question, Will. Why are you, because it's thankful November. Why are you thankful for your wife?
I'm thankful because she is willing to accept growth.
Mm-hmm.
Um, man, that's a lot. I ain't that was new to me. Hold on. That's just because
Yes.
we've been growing so much, man, and like it's incredible to be called one, and then to actually move in that calling and really see your mind really change and see your heart change. You
Mm.
see your heart change for yourself, and you see your heart change for other people. You see your heart change for your spouse, of course. um, you enter these new spaces. I was only a son before,
Oh wow.
and so I never
Mhm.
knew how to be a husband.
Mhm.
You
And so
better
I
come on.
learned how to grow into a husband with her.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Now I get to grow as a husband and a father with her.
Yeah.
And so we get to keep learning, and we keep learning, and we keep growing, and we actually continue to like each other. I like her being a mother.
Mm-hmm.
She likes me
Good.
being a father.
That's good.
She likes me walking in my calling. She likes this. We're actually making progress and seeing other people's lives change. And that's one thing that I'm really thankful for, that even if we don't have all the monies and the cars just yet that I want, because I'm getting it. I'm getting everything I want. I lead a Bible study, and I tell them every week, like, listen, if I come on here with a bunch of jewelry on and I'm Gucci down to the socks, this is what I want, but this is what God has done for me. And I'm growing in myself. I'm growing in this, and you got to learn to accept where you're growing to.
Yeah,
You can't run from where you're growing to. Then you're not growing. You're dead.
that's true. That's true.
Say that.
That's true. I love that. I love that. I love that. And
I'm sorry. Keep going. Keep going. Let me be quiet. I'm gonna be quiet.
no. You good. You good. You ain't gotta be quiet, honey, because you are on a roll. I have one last question, then I ain't
No,
got
yeah,
one.
go ahead.
I hope
Absolutely.
the other host got something, because this is my last question, and that is what you pretty much said it, but what has being married done for your life, for your life?
Man, my wife pushed me to see. I'm spiritual, so everything that I live or say is gonna revert back to God. So, she pushed me into my destiny, like literally pushed me, and was like, "Here, do this,"
Yeah.
and I did it, and it worked.
Uh, uh,
And so, anytime somebody that loves you gives you a gift that works for your favor, you gotta hang around that person
ooh, say that again.
so you can get more gifts. You can keep growing. You can keep experiencing what they have to offer.
Yeah.
We didn't get the same thing from Santa Claus 10 years ago that we got now.
You right.
That's why we wanted to keep learning or experiencing Christmas with Santa. What are we going to get this year? What if we took that approach with God?
Come on.
What am I going to get this year from you, God? Have I been on the good list or am I on the naughty list? These are just questions. Since we asking questions,
Yeah.
These are questions that he asks us. Like, you don't just get everything for doing nothing. I think that was a household rule in the Black household. I don't know.
Said in the Black household.
You don't get something for nothing.
That's true. That's true.
That's don't.
True. All year long. First of all year long.
Yeah, you got kids, so yeah,
Listen, my kids know the motto is you get back what you put out. Period. That's still my motto. You get back what you put out. Yeah.
It's just the same approach, we take the same approach, like my man said, principles.
Yeah.
Principles are key. They are. You have to live by the principles. Not necessarily law, but live by the principles.
Right.
That's a whole nother.
Now, how important is that? And now I'm talking to my singles, because we actually split. So it's all right tonight. How important is that for your person, your one, and I'm talking to Jihad and Simple Array? How important are the principles, and important is it that they live by?
It's a great question.
Lorraine?
So important. I'm gonna say
ladies first.
Ladies first, yeah. Ladies first.
I mean, that's so important. That's why I'm still choosing to be single right now.
Ooh, she shut it down
until I run across that person that has the principles that I'm looking for. At the end of the day, in the physical, we can all get what we need. And for me, God's not a genie. So it requires work. And if you cannot give to me mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, you're taking from me.
Ooh.
You're literally taking from me what he's given me. Because not all times does God bless me in a tangible way. I can just honestly say over the past 5 years, he has set me free mentally. He has set me free spiritually, and he has set me free emotionally. So I refuse because somebody likes me or they say they like me to get bound up in that again.
Ooh, good God.
Absolutely not.
You try to take people's hands off. We just ask a little question.
It's not, I mean, but sometimes it's that serious. People sometimes they wonder why do you choose to still be single? Because I know what the cost is.
Oh man.
And I'm just being transparent right now. I'm hard-headed. Seriously. So to have to, and you, because you were saying earlier, you know what I'm saying, when they say submit. So for me to humble myself before God and submit before him, like that's the place I feel safe, is in God. So if that man is not in God, I'm not going to feel safe enough to submit to him.
Sure.
Ooh, you on fire.
For me, it's not going to happen.
That's the principle. That ain't for you. That's the principle.
That's it. Yeah, like, I mean, thank you.
Yeah, that's the principle.
That's the principle. Period. It's just, it has to be that way, because if we're human. So if at that moment I'm not where I need to be mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, and he's not where he is mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, then where we at?
I noticed that you didn't even mention financially, which is incredible.
No. Because if you good in all them areas, financial's gonna come. I mean, you can be good, you know what I mean? You can be good financially, but you're not there mentally, emotionally, or spiritually, and you end up you might be in a good place financially, but I can say, like, I'm better financially, and I can't say that my my income has increased, but at the same time, I know how to handle it. You know what I mean? I handle it better now.
Excuse me.
I like that. I think she waiting on you, John.
Yeah, it's
yeah. You ain't no period at the end of that sentence. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? No, principles is simply observing the person's principles is just a way of me gauging their moral codes. And the moral codes is what also helps me to align whether I can trust this person or not to make a quality and sound decision in the confines of a commitment in a relationship. So when it comes to principles, I'll observe them and I just observed it in the individual. Through all the thoughts, speech and actions, the stuff they watch on TV, they friends, they diet, things that get the things that get a rise of energy out of them, the things that they dislike, people they dislike, their career. I just look at a lot of things like that, the way they raise their children, they interact with their parents. Mm-hmm. A lot of that is going to let me know where a lot of their principles lie.
That's good. Ladies. How standard is that? And let me not say standard, because that sounds so bad, general. But is that the typical mindset of how will? And I know now I'm asking you on the spectrum of being a husband. Can you agree with Jihad in what he said? That is that typically what it is that you're looking at?
Absolutely. Pretty much everything he said. Yes. I want to make sure that we know the difference between check boxes and principles, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Those are two different things. And so, you can have your check boxes. Is she thick?
Right.
I had to go that way. It was on my tongue. It was in my heart.
Look, this ain't my segment of the message, so
I'm thankful. How about that?
Know what? We laughing, but there's somebody out there watching, and you know what I'm saying. He probably just sparked the thought by saying that. You know what I mean? That's real.
Yeah, because if I don't get everything, maturity. We hit a lot of key words, but if you're mature enough with your check boxes, you can. Okay, I don't really need that one. That one might not mean, that much to me. But there were some things, I may have had a top 3 that I needed. And one of them was I need my wife to look a certain way. Because if I don't, then I'm always going to hunger for that look. And if, again, here we go with the gift, if God gives me something, why would it not be perfect?
Ooh.
I shouldn't have to continue to go looking. I should just be growing with this thing. When God gives us money, financial increases, like Simply Lorraine just got, she's going to be growing with the money, learning how to invest, learning how to save, learning where and when not to spend money.
Mm.
Mm.
We're growing.
Mm. That's
So the check boxes and the principles are different. Principles are things that align, like Jahaz said, my beliefs, what you eat, how you treat your parents, how you treat your how you treat yourself, all of those things, absolutely. As opposed to check boxes being what I desire and what I need from my spouse.
so principles absolutely is a no bender.
Yes,
It's a no bender.
absolutely.
And so, can you guys talk to me about, again, I'm going to go back to this question, and I hope it doesn't sound redundant, but being, let's just say, being older, being wiser. I'm going to say wiser, because Simply Lorraine just corrected me on that. Being mature and being wiser in your sight. And let me say in your senses.
Yeah.
And all 5 of your senses, being mature in that. When you look out on our sons that's 26, 24, 25, what is it something that you feel like maybe they need to know more of, the difference between the two, so that their mindset can be prepared for exact to like Jihad said, to know her when you get her, when you see her? Because a lot of times, and I can attest, everybody can say, if we go back over our lives, there's been people that were marriage material. I thank God for my husband. You know what I mean? And he's perfectly perfect for me. But I think that we all can say there were moments where, because we didn't have that checkbox and the principles in order, a whole lot, could have gone differently in our lives. Even though we know that our journey is not a surprise to God, we do understand that. But I think that, I worry. Let me just say that I'm a mom, I'm a granny. I worry about these young lives, because I'm wondering, like, is it even a thought? Like, is marriage a thing anymore? Is it even something that is it a goal? It worries me.
I'll say one thing, that there's this book out that Reverend Casey Hamilton wrote, that is Marriage Isn't for Everyone.
Right.
I have yet to start the book. I'm actually reading his other book.
Amazing.
It's a good book.
I believe it. And I don't know why I haven't I'm reading a whole bunch of other stuff, but that's why. But just off that statement alone, maybe, and this is just a maybe, I don't know, maybe everybody from that age range that you said, 20s, early 20s, 22, 19 to maybe 26 or so, if that is even a desire of them. So I think that I would rather have people not being married rather than raising the divorce rate even more.
I like that. I like that. I like that. Jihad, you have sons. Talk to me about, as a father, what you would like to see for your sons in today's society, as far as the ideal and being realistic about marriage.
There's not much I can say about marriage because they ain't seen the example in their father. But one thing I always taught my sons, I want them to be elite fathers. I want them to be I prioritize them being the best fathers over being a husband. A husband, like you, it may not be guaranteed you will ever get married or be in a committed relationship. If so, then you got to understand that's a commitment as well too. I never really had that conversation with them, but I always stress to them, if you don't be nothing else in life, you have to be a father. The same way I was a father to you. That's my number one expectations of them. But there are certain things that my sons have asked me as far as what to look for in a woman, and I go off what's worked for me. You know, what's best for me. You know what I'm saying? And certain things to do and certain things you don't do. Always keep things in proper context. You understand what I'm saying? So, and you have to understand, I have to have the conversation with my sons where they have to understand where, you know, when a child gets older, it registers in their head, that's my dad, that's my mom, why aren't they together? So when we had these conversations, I had to put everything in proper context. But when it comes to women, I just tell them certain things to look out for, you know what I'm saying? And understand that whatever you commit to, you're committing to the mind, not the behind. So get over the look and understand that you're committing to a mind, the way that she thinks. You know what I'm saying? Because the beauty of a woman won't raise your child, her mind will.
Ooh,
And that's the only way I can answer that.
That's good. Yeah, that's good. Simple Ray, I know that you have a son, your one and only.
Mm-hmm.
What is it that you see, with your child as it pertains to marriage? And do you think that this is something, and we have to make sure we get enough of Pastor Kason's book, Marriage is Not for Everybody, because yeah, he walks the dog on it. And I mean, no corners unturned. He absolutely does. But how do you feel about, where your son is in this area?
I'm not sure how I feel about it. I mean, just as long as my thing is really, I just hope and pray still that he doesn't become a father until he's ready to be a husband.
Okay, I get that. I get that. I get that. I get
Right.
that. And for me, it's like I concur with both of you, with everyone, but for me, it is understanding yourself as a man first, understanding where you get your directives from first, being connected to the source, the main source, because we talk about leaders all the time. But if you don't know where you're going, if you don't know what you're doing, you cannot ask a woman, a wife, a baby mama, or whoever to follow you. You can't ask your child to follow you. You can't if you don't know. So I think everything starts within yourself. And that's one thing I heard both of you men mention today. And I love that. I heard both of you mention the fact that um you honestly had to start with yourself. You had to start within. Like Jihad jumped out there like, yo, this is my problem. You know what I'm saying? Will, you started with, you know what I mean? It came from me. Like I had to do the work. And I think that's what we have to encourage our young lives to do. Be willing to do the work, because when you do the work, I have this saying, when I got my good pair of glasses, I didn't know I couldn't see until I could see. Y'all, the tree in front of my porch the whole time. But when I put the glasses on, I was like, okay, now that is a nice tree, you know.
Glasses too, real talk.
Yes, and so I think that perspective change when you are inner tuned, not in tune, but inner tuned. You know what I'm saying? I think that it definitely grows your mind. And I agree with Simple Ray. It's not so much a age as it is a mindset. Jihad, you say all the time, learning, 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 still a student. And my 70 plus year old grandmother, oh, I lied, 80 plus year old grandmother, she used to always say, the day I stop learning, y'all will be putting me in the ground. So we're constantly always learning. But I think we these conversations, and I thank you, Will, for being here, and thank you, Dalisha, Mrs. Jackson, for sharing this amazing mind. I'm over here trying to hold my face because I've known you. I've known you for a long time. I've been there. I've seen the growth, and I'm so proud. I'm excited. Let me say that. I'm excited for you. And I'm excited for our future, to just know that we have men such as yourselves that is able to plug into and pour into the next generation, not just by words, but also by your actions. Because something that everyone can say here in agreement is, we are definitely dealing with a generation of do as I see, not say anymore. We came from say, a little bit of say and see, but this new generation, I can honestly say it is a see. Do as I see. And so I love that. Go ahead.
No, I'm agreeing. That is totally right. Like, it's definitely a seeing generation, and the thing of it is what are they actually seeing?
Yeah.
There's so much that they're seeing, and there's so much that, like growing up. Like, I'm 29. Like, when I was 15, 16, there was babies having babies. That was the slogan back then. 15-year-olds, 16-year-olds were having kids. And I'm like, bro, I'm just trying to make the baseball team.
Listen.
Like,
hello life.
Yeah. Like, so like, what are y'all seeing? And it was just so much. It's very hard to reverse a corrupt mind if it does not want to be reversed.
You said something right there. Ding, ding, ding.
Seasons happen every year. The same season happens every year, but it looks different every single year. And so each and every time that the seasons come around, you find yourself in a cycle. Why am I single? Did you grow? Did you plant any seeds to figure out what it is that you need to change? Did you actually try dating? Did you even get out there to see if you're likable? Like, you may like you, but does somebody else like you?
Good point.
And here you are at the holiday season again, like, I'm lonely, drinking eggnog and Hennessy. But you didn't do anything different to get a different result. Like, you didn't do anything. And you have to actually try. Experiment. See if some of these things work. See if this person say they like Italian food, and you like, well, no, I ain't never had no Italian food because my mama didn't eat no Italian food. My daddy black. And like, you can start making up stuff in your head as to why you don't want to go to the gym, as to why you don't want to be a good father or mother. What, like, no. Make sure that somebody else actually likes you. Try. Experiment. Try. You have to try.
That's good. And that's a major key.
Gotta try.
I think I sung that same song last weekend when I could relate, but I can relate to that. And I know that I spoke about just how, when I had to take my blinders off, I had to set my pettiness aside, and I had to set my traditions aside, my selfishness aside, and I had to look at my husband, and it was like, I had to look at, let me say this, I had to look at my commitment and ask myself one question.
Wow.
Has he tried? And when that answer was yes, it was a hard yes.
Mm.
Oh, it was all kind of checking going on. Like my whole life for like a whole month or two was like check, 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 check,
Wow.
check it. I mean, I had to get right
Wow.
because what I ended up when I asked myself, when myself asked me, myself said, Gwen, and I said, huh? And myself said, can you work with a try? And I said, you know what? I can.
Yeah.
I can work with a try because that's all any of us can do. So I love that statement that you just made. Try. And if at first you don't succeed, try again. You know what I mean? Because what we do know is that there is somebody, but sometimes I believe that we're not meeting those bodies because we're not willing to eat Italian food because we prefer Chinese. We're not willing to actually have, Mexican food for Christmas because we're so used to tradition.
Right.
One thing I realized in any relationship is it has to be customized. Jihad and I are cousins, but we got a quadrillion billion cousins out there. The way our bond is, it's not the same as every other cousin. You understand what I'm saying? It is not. I can have a conversation with you, Will, that may be totally perceived or go totally different from the conversation that I have with Alicia. It does not mean that the relationships and the bonds are not there, but we have to learn to customize what works. That's it. I think that's the key in any long lasting relationship and marriage. Corey and I took a trip to the cabins one time, and it clicked that we decided we wanted to start our own new everything, new traditions within our family. If we don't want to eat turkey and dressing or whatever, I did a show called Says Who. We have to stop making society's norm be our norm. We have to stop making our mom and dad and aunts and uncles and families' tradition be our norm. I love God, but I may not praise him and worship him the way they did. Me and my husband like to think that we have a different type of radical faith. Simply Ray says she hard-headed. We hard-headed in the same instance where it comes to tradition. He believes in breaking barriers, and people say it all the time, but it used to be a saying. But I believe our generation, we're big on literally breaking chains. You know what I mean? Literally just coming out of bondage. That, no pun intended, they did the best they knew how.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it doesn't. Oh, my husband did a sermon in the street recently. It was taking it back to the streets, and he just said, it didn't fit me right, and I felt that. It's like we have to stop trying to live like the Joneses. I love the fact that Jihad, Simple Lorraine, y'all good at I'm taking my time. Like Jihad said, I know what's out there. But I also had a chance in my singleness, in my solitude, to know also where I went wrong. That's what Pastor Cason's book is about. It's just check yourself, start knowing the difference between principles and checking these boxes off. And, all of that, when you do all of that and you got all that together, trust me, when you find her and he finds you, or when you find him, it's 2021. However that may go,
I agree.
I believe it's going to be sustainable because, again, when you know you can also let somebody else get to know you. I love, love, love how this whole conversation has gone. Like, I am here for it. Will, I thank you so much for just taking time to pour all of the love and all of the wisdom out to our listeners, our viewers. Delisha, you are beyond blessed, both of you guys.
Absolutely.
And we wish you many, many more blessings. Y'all have any more questions for Will? Statements?
No, not that I can think of. And the brother covered a lot in each one of his answers.
Yes, he did.
So,
Like we had a great conversation.
Yeah.
I'm
Will,
humbled to
we
be a
can't
part.
let you go. We can't let you go.
No. I thought we was gonna be on here. I had in my head, I was like, they was on there for 1 hour and 30, so I'm gonna be on.
Oh, he said he want his time. Do you hear me?
So I was prepared for 1 hour and 30, but I'm
He
really
said
honored. I'm really honored
can.
to be here, man. Like for real.
Thank
Like
you.
I admire you. I admire your ambition.
Thank
I
you.
definitely admire when people you're growing.
Yeah.
It like literally just like how you saw me grow, I literally saw you grow as well. Like you got your own business and it's actually working. You got kids in college, you're a grandma now, like you're still growing. You're learning how to be a grandma. Like you never been no grandma before. So
No.
you know what I mean? Like, but no, in all honesty, I'm really humbled to be here, man.
Thank
Like
you.
this is dope. I like I just like the conversation. I like different perspectives. Nobody opposed of anybody's wisdom. I think we're all wise people on here, which is why this really, really worked.
Yeah,
It
thank
really, really
you.
worked. So I'm humbled. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. And we appreciate your transparency. Listen, when I tell y'all Jihad is my go-to, I don't know anybody, and I love my family that's most solid. Do you hear me? Like people say one call, that's all.
Yeah.
It's stop, drop, roll. He is cousin. Thank you. Thank you.
Always.
And he was so he was like, do married people want to talk to me?
Yeah, I was like, because the one, the one thing I know my place, and I'm like, I don't, what I'm saying, what can I tell a person that made a decision I haven't? But again, what I'm saying, it was a learning. I learned a lot from Will, and Lorraine said some things that were key, and because Will is right, you're very accomplished. I'm very proud of you. You've always had that leadership mind. You've always been driven in ambition. You know what I'm saying? So. You and Brandy. I talked to Brandy the other day too. So I'm proud of you, and you know what I'm saying. You keep your show going because you believe in your brand and your product. So yeah, anytime, cuz always. I'm gonna have to bring you on the Uppity Negroes. It launches in 2 weeks.
Come on, I'm here for it. Yes,
it launches in 2 weeks.
Do I get to do the piggy? No.
I wanna say something. Oh, go ahead, Simply Ray. Go ahead.
Okay, I want to tap into what you said. It is just setting in my spirit when you said a gift. And the thing about a gift is you have to accept a gift.
Yeah. Ooh.
And sometimes when we get those gifts, they have to be maintained. And they're going to require some work to maintain it, whatever the gift may be. Like I could be gifted a home, like say it's passed down or something. I'm going to have to do things to maintain it or it's going to fall apart.
Absolutely.
You know what? I love how you said we have to accept it.
Yeah.
Because I made this statement probably multiple times, but I know last show, and I'm going to say it again in all transparency. Corey and I have been together 6 years, married 5. It took me probably last year to realize that I have such a love and passion for my family. I couldn't figure out why when we fell out, it wasn't the same as falling out with my family. And God had to really show me where you never made him family. My husband, but I never made them family. Because see, the thing about family is it is a gift. It's a gift that we just naturally accept. Why? Raised to accept family. Family is family, right? That's what we're raised to do. But I didn't have the same grace. I didn't extend the same grace to him as I did people that literally hurt me worse. People that disappointed me worse. And I had to sit with that. And even recently in my check, remember I told y'all I had a whole life season of just checking. Mm-hmm. Part of that was in my war room, y'all. It's my shower. So in my war room, where I talk to God, and I'm just, oh God, deal with him, and oh my God, I can't take it, and God, and He said, "Did I give you what you asked for?" And I'm like, man, ouch. Yes, you did. The only thing I had to do, God was waiting for me to do, was accept the gift. That's it. When you accept the gift, it's so much less pushback. Because we like nice things. We like gifts. I don't know about anybody else, but I could go buy a $2,000 whatever plant or picture, and I'll get rid of that and toss that out faster than I will a $2 card that somebody gave me. Wow. Because it's a gift. And I think when we see it in that aspect, when we see marriage as that, relationships as that, it's a gift. We'll handle them with care a little bit better. It's something that we have to value. So, yeah, I'm here for that. Thank you.
I want to say something with my last 2 minutes that I have.
No, we got time, baby. We got 30. You good?
I just learned this today, which was like super incredible to me. I can't think of Dr. Connie's last name. If Dalisha, if you know her last name, babe, put it in here because I want to give her credit. But she said that a lot of, and this is going to tie into what Simply DeRay said and what you said about, and even Jihad said about your ambition and why things work for you and why you're passionate about certain things like this platform. For instance, you know, you actually have people that come on here that want to be here and it actually works. Like you're able to continue this thing. And so what she said was that a lot of times things go wrong is because we don't know who the daddy is. And we were like, oh my God, where's this going? And she said, we birth things from out of ourselves and not out of him. And so when the hand is presented, or why is this going wrong? Or why don't I have enough money? Why are we always arguing in the marriage? Who birthed it? Was it something that he gave you, or was it an idea that you had? God doesn't reward ideas. He rewards vision. And so she was like, you're failing at life. Williams, Dr. Connie Williams, amazing. One of the smartest women that I
There she goes. Like. You help me.
Man, this lady is crazy. Like, and when she just said that, it just resonated to me that like I was just able to identify in my life where I birthed things and where my DNA was and not God's DNA. And so if God can't trace back your business, if he can't trace back to you or to himself where his hand was on that business, don't expect it to succeed.
Oh, that's good.
Don't expect the marriage to succeed. It blew my mind, y'all. Like this was just
that's good.
You said it was just today.
This was today.
You said Dr. Connie Williams.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Like just think about all the stuff that we have went through that did not have the source's DNA. All the missed opportunities, jobs, husbands, wives, monies, all of that.
Yeah.
All of that just didn't happen. So it's super important that you stay connected as a man. I'll speak from a man's standpoint. Like, bro, you gotta be a leader. You have to be a leader. You have to be able to have your DNA attached and be traceable. Your
Yeah.
DNA has got to be traceable in order for this thing to work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not my plan. It's just how he created the earth. That's just what it is.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
incredible. I just had to insert that and just let you know that like all of the things that are working for you,
Yeah.
God can trace it back and be like, yeah, she suffered and trusted me at this time. So I can bless her here.
Come on now.
Mm-hmm.
Listen.
Blew my mind, y'all. That like I'm done for tonight. I'm done.
Listen.
No, for real. That when you just said that, I'm like, whoa. When you first said it, I was like, wow, I know what he's talking about. Like, who's the daddy? Like, who's
the daddy?
Now.
And that's what she said. Like, this is this little short 5-foot white woman, like in the church for the black people. Like, who your daddy?
Oh, wow.
And she doesn't, you know what I'm saying? She don't flinch. Who your daddy? And then your mind just starts going like, wow, I failed because it was me. But that's a mature place that you got to get to.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I'm done.
A mature place.
I had to share that because that was.
That's
yeah. Listen, I'm on it. I'm on it. Yeah. I'm on it. Jihad, what do you think about the whole statement about, just being able to trace the DNA and being able to connect? You know what I mean? How do you feel about that?
I don't know. I don't understand it. I understand what he was saying, but I understand the context of what he's saying, but I can't really understand it because I don't know what that means on so many levels.
Okay.
Of tracing the DNA, and I'll admit I'm not a know-it-all Negro, and sometimes my comprehension is a little slow. So I don't know though. I don't know.
Even
I can't answer that question yet.
Even naturally, if we look at it naturally, like what can you attach to your father that be like, yeah, I do this like my daddy?
Right. Simple, Lorraine. I was going to ask you next.
Like what the whole man, that was when he said it. That's why I started smiling when he first dropped it. I'm like, whoa, that's a statement right there. Like,
wow, yeah,
like for me, it was totally on a spiritual level. Like, what is it? Like the things that you're doing, the things you stopped, just a lot of different situations who was birthing that.
Yeah.
Where was that coming from? Was it me? Yeah. Was it? I can just look at so many different situations. Was it me? Was it my idea? Was it something somebody in my family said? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, where was this thing coming from?
Yeah. And I love that sometimes we have to realize that it's a plan bigger than your plan.
And Jihad said something earlier where he was like individuality. I think we do live in a time where I think they want us to think it's individuality, but really it's not. Because if we're comfortable in being them, I don't think we'd be all over the place.
Oh, you might have said something, honey.
I don't. If people were really being comfortable and being them, like I'm gonna take it back when I said I was hard headed. Now I just went against the grain. You couldn't make me agree with something that I just didn't think was right. I don't care if 20, 30 people was doing it. I might have went over on the other side, down the street, around the corner, and did something and had no business doing too. But I wasn't doing that.
There you go.
You know what I mean? So I'm gonna take back saying hard-headed just because I was told I was hard-headed so many times, but I just can't even remember being young. Like Doesn't matter if it was like, and not as in I was disrespectful, but it could be an older aunt, it could be an older uncle. I have always been the one to push the bar, to be like, quit doing them kids like that. Quit talking to them kids like that. Well, that's an elder. Well, they can't just cuss at me like that. What are you talking about? Like now as an adult, I would say they assaulting my spirit, like they assaulting me. That by what they're saying to me. What makes that okay?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a whole nother show. We got to do that one. Listen,
but again, like, what's birthing that in us? Like, when you get a certain age and all this stuff starts coming about, you know, where's it coming from? Can you trace the DNA? Who's the daddy of that thing? Why you act like that? Look, he went there.
Note to self. I was going to say, note to self. Thank you, Will. We got another hot topic coming, and it is literally going to be called Who's the Daddy?
Yes. Because, baby, listen.
Wow. That is something we have been needing to literally go ahead and it's time. Because we need to. And I like that. And thank you for giving me that, sis, because I'm not hard-headed. I just don't believe everything people tell me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with that one. Because that's exactly what it is for me. You can't just tell me something and I'm okay. I'm not a yes girl.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. So we're going to have that conversation, Jihad. We're going to have that conversation.
Yes.
Guarantee that. Listen, y'all, it has been amazing. Before we go, I honestly want to do just a little bit pet peeve. Okay, so we're going to do this thing where we're going to switch it up just tonight. Will, I need you to give me one pet peeve that Dalisha does that you absolutely cannot stand. And then
he my man laughing because you setting him up. Thank you, bro. Thank you, bro. Thank you so much.
We don't answer that question.
You just got here, so I'm like,
don't answer that question.
Look, John said, "Don't do it." Listen, we played the game last night, right? I mean, last weekend. But it ain't gonna be the same. But you gonna play this game? Listen. Hi, Fat Waddy. Yeah, my great nephew just got here from Florida, so y'all know what it is.
Yeah.
And then I'll go again, and then I'm gonna switch it. Jihad and Simply Lorraine, if y'all could just give us one thing in dating with a purpose that you cannot stand, that'll work. Fair. All right. Okay, let's go.
Who's going first?
You know what? I ain't gonna even do you like that. I'm gonna let Jihad, because he started it. He started the show. Jihad, you want to take the first one?
What's a pet peeve like in the dating arena?
Pet peeve.
I would say over time, my biggest pet peeve is like if I allow a young lady to come over my house and she leaves something at my house. I hate that with a passion. It is a deal breaker. It is a deal breaker. It is a deal breaker. She will never, ever see the confines of my space ever again. It's a deal breaker. I'm sorry. I didn't got a little serious, but I hate that, man.
He said I got a little serious.
For real, man. I mean, it's that's been like forever. Like, why do women do that? Like, don't do that.
You know why?
If I go over in a young lady's house, I'm taking everything with me. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, you know why she doing that? Because in case another lady come by that ain't her, she want that lady to know she been there.
Man, I'm telling you, in the past, man, you know, you be chilling and you be like, okay, let's go chill. We're gonna relax. Like, and you go in the bathroom, she be like, whose bonnet is this? She was like, and they be like, go ahead and say something because I know you don't have no sisters, nigga.
Right.
And your mama's in Missouri. I hate that. I hate. I'm sorry.
He said I hate
Oh,
that.
that's a good one. Wow.
God, you got me. I used to always hate that. Jeez.
Oh my gosh. Simply Lorraine, give me a pet peeve you have in dating.
I'm
That was
gonna
good,
piggyback.
Jihad.
I'm gonna piggyback off of his one because that was a really, really good one. Because guess what, Jihad? I'm the type that I just throw it away. It don't even matter. Just it gets thrown away. Absolutely. There is
You
no
men do that?
Yes.
Wait, men do that? They leave stuff?
Yeah.
For real?
I'm gonna go back a few years. Say I was dating and somebody
God.
just trying to be funny, and she left her stuff. I threw it away. So when she came back, well, it's just not here anymore.
Oh wow.
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 Yeah, that's new.
God.
I ain't know men did that.
I didn't
I
either.
didn't either.
I never had a
A while ago, I used to try to give them time to come get it, but then I just started throwing it away. Don't even matter.
Wow, I didn't know.
Oh
He did
wow.
Yeah,
that.
I didn't know that either, bro. That's new for
That's
real.
new to me.
He said that's new. He had to turn the hat sideways, Delisha. He said, what?
Look, I don't understand.
Today, baby. That's
I
what
get
they
it,
doing
y'all.
nowadays.
I'm a female, and I don't get it because I get it. I didn't leave stuff. Like, why you want to leave stuff?
I would have to say that's man law.
Yeah, that's
That's
like
man law.
that's different.
That's different. That's very beta.
Yeah, that's different. That's all we're gonna say. We're gonna say that's different.
Mm.
I have a
look
pet
at
peeve. Okay, last week I said it was my husband snoring. I don't know, because he doesn't really, I really don't have too many pet peeves for him. It's definitely the snoring. I think the other thing, and I may have mentioned this before because it's not a lot, is when today we were out to dinner. And he, of course, does not remember this, but I definitely do. So I have a pet peeve with people, anybody, don't reach in my plate without asking me. And it's typically going to be no. But anyway, don't reach in my plate without asking me. Don't take my food, my snacks, my drink, my nothing without asking me.
Even with Corey?
Absolutely. You will put back a nub. I don't play that. It ain't a family member. Listen.
And that married game different,
out
bro.
to dinner with me.
I see, man. I dated a big chick, man. I dated a big chick one time. She ate, and I thought it was a love language. Like, go ahead, have another biscuit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no. Don't do that. Don't do that. You will pull back a nub. I am so serious. Wow. Listen, Jihad. He just commented. Man, I'm rough.
Yeah.
No, that reminds me of my aunt and uncle because she'll go somewhere and she'll be like, "You want to share a plate?" My uncle's like, "No."
Look, Corey heard another room. Corey was like, "What's she saying?"
Yeah, he know I ain't lying. Nah, he said I'm rough. That really what he said. But he usually be like, "You hell." That's what he said. I like what I like, but no, I can't stand that. Don't retch around in my. You see how just that, and then even going over, I just feel like stuff falling off the arm and the plate. I'm just picky about that. So he got it now. He got it. He understands. He does. He understands. Will we save the best for last? I didn't know you stayed up for this pet peeve.
You know, I've actually studied my wife for a week now to see what it is.
Be a petty for a week.
Yeah. Because when you asked the question last week, I'm like, man, I hope you asked me that because I didn't really know at the time. And so I was like, let me see what's going on. But before I do that, I want to say what's up to Corey, man. Thank you for allowing your wife to do this, bro. This is great and letting me be on here. So thank you, man. But
right on.
Man, my wife play too much. She really do. She plays entirely too much.
Why do I believe that? I can see that.
You definitely like it's. I be like, man, like, come on, bro. Like, it's literally all the time. Like, why you play? Like, don't play. we be in church and you playing. Like, why you playing?
Oh my goodness.
Like, it's all it never fails, man. She play.
I can see her pranking you a lot.
We don't really do the pranks, but she's just like super jokey, like not serious all the time. Like,
she full of life.
Yeah, like and like sometimes, like when we first got together, I was kind of like, I'll say she's a big personality, and so that could offend people sometimes. And she's comfortable in herself, and that's a whole woman thing that women be jealous and all that. But men, we love it. Like, cool, great. Yeah. So with her playing and it really be funny and confident, like it's like, man, like,
Alicia, I'm here for it, baby. That's why we there. We are there.
She played.
He said she played too much. She played too much. Guess what? I am here for it. I knew I loved her. I knew it. Listen, you got you one.
Yes, uno.
Hang on to it. It has been a pleasure. My great nephew is here from Florida, and he is busting in the room. He's like, "Hey, I'm here." So we're gonna go ahead and end. If you don't mind, we're gonna cut you short by 10 minutes. Okay?
That's all good. I promise. Thank y'all,
darling. Thank y'all so much for blessing the show. We will be back. I think we might skip next Saturday. I'm gonna keep it 1,000, but we'll do a rerun show because we want to enjoy our family. And as you all know, my family and I, we have to do Black Friday. So but after that, stay tuned for what we do have in store, because I feel like it's gonna be Who's the Daddy. I'm here for it.
Well, we need everybody back on the
show. I'm here to come back whenever. Like,
yes, we need Will and Miss Dolly. We need them both back on the show.
We definitely need y'all both back on the show.
I'm not doing no show with her. She played.
He said she played too much.
We silly, it don't matter.
We are here for it. It's such a blessing. Listen, guys, we are back here every Saturday. You can find us here at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Just follow our page, Single Moms Lifestyle, Single Moms to Wives, Saturday Night Getaway. We are here for family, singles, the married, relationships. We talk politics. We talk everything and anything that we do as transparent people behind closed doors. So don't miss out on any of this. Please tag, like, share. We want to get more people in the know about what we got going on over here. Will, it was just such a pleasure, a blessing to have you. Your mindset, I'm here for it, baby.
Thank you so much.
Y'all know I gotta take y'all out with my baby boy Brandon, who done grew up. Will, he done grew up. He's that used to stand up there.
We stay in Kennesaw. He's like right up the street.
Oh, okay. So I'm gonna make sure he'll be here tomorrow. I'm gonna make sure he connect with y'all. Y'all check on my baby. I need all eyes on him. Thank y'all. We're gonna go out with Brandon's video. And again, it was a pleasure. We'll see y'all next time. Good night.
Good night.
It's a letter to my mama, letter to my best friend. I know your love run deep, it'll never end. She taught me how to cook, she taught me how to clean. My dude's the realest one that is on my team, never ever picking sides. She taught me how to rise, taught me how to be a leader, never ever follow God, son, always follow God. She taught me how to pray, right before I eat and right before I lay. Don't be scared to make mistakes. She taught me that it's human, so I'ma be like Nike and just do it. Anything I wanna do, I know my mama, she gon' ride. Yeah. She say never fear no men, only fear God. Yeah. So I'ma walk around with my head high in these fear guys. My mama, she gon' be straight, I put that on my God. And I kill 100 niggas before I ever see you cry. I love you, mama. It's a letter to my mama, letter to my best friend. I know your love run deep, it'll never end. She taught me how to cook, she taught me how to clean. My dude's the realest one that is on my team, never ever picking sides. She taught me how to rise, taught me how to be a leader, never ever follow God, son, always follow God. She taught me how to pray, right before I eat, and right before I lay, don't be scared to make mistakes. She taught me that it's human, so I'ma be like Nike, and just do it, anything I wanna do. I know my mama, she gon' ride, yeah. She said never fear no men, only fear God, yeah. So I'ma walk around with my head high in these fear guys. My mama, she gon' be straight, I put that on my God. And I kill 100 niggas before I ever see you cry. I love you, mama. It's a letter to my mama, letter to my best friend. I know your love run deep, it'll never end. She taught me how to cook, she taught me how to clean. My dude's the realest one that is on my team, never ever picking sides. She taught me how to rise, taught me how to be a leader, never ever follow God, son, always follow God. She taught me how to pray, right before I eat, and right before I lay, don't be scared to make mistakes. She taught me that it's human, so I'ma be like Nike, and just do it, anything I wanna do. I know my mama, she gon' ride, yeah. She said never fear no men, only fear God, yeah. So I'ma walk around with my head high in these fear guys. My mama, you gon' be straight, I put that on my God. And I kill 100 niggas before I ever see you cry. I love you, mama. It's a letter to my mama, letter to my best friend. I know your love run deep, it'll never end. She taught me how to cook, she taught me how to clean. My dude's the realest one that is on my team, never ever picking sides. She taught me how to rise, taught me how to be a leader, never ever follow God, son, always follow God. She taught me how to pray, right before I eat, and right before I lay, don't be scared to make mistakes. She taught me that it's human, so I'ma be like Nike, and just do it, anything I wanna do. I know my mama, she gon' ride, yeah. She said never fear no men, only fear God, yeah. So I'ma walk around with my head high in these fear guys. My mama, she gon' be straight, I put that on my God. And I kill 100 niggas before I ever see you cry. I love you, mama. It's a letter to my mama, letter to my best friend. I know your love run deep, it'll never end.